hotshot climbers managed to get him into the chopper. Pulled off quite a feat.
Quite a feat. You saved my son's life. Heroes in my eyes.
We've got to take full advantage of this situation and do something with these guys. Something big.
And that's why the Mack Corporation is proud to sponsor these local heroes up one of the highest, most dangerous mountains in South America.
That would have hurt.
We don't have a chance of making it up that mountain if you don't stop hot dogging. I told you not to run it out that far. What are you doing? You playing with me?
Just testing your blade, man.
There's no forgiveness up there. You make a mistake, you die.
And if you don't take it to the edge every chance you get, you're dead already, baby.
Going straight to the top before we break down. Got a new destination, keep my feet on the ground, you know.
It'll take us 6 hours to get back down.
We got 3.
Come on, kid! Pull,
And I guess we'll start with like, you want to start with like, I don't know. What do you think?
Start with that.
Yeah, let me start with that. Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Explosion. Today we have a special film with a wonderful message about how one should live life. And if you come across someone with different life experience than you, they should just subscribe to what you think. No, and you shouldn't try to consider what they've been through, because don't even think about that. Like, how can you not like what I like? What I like is the best thing.
Yeah, I mean, your experiences define who you are
And who they are.
Around you is, and the people around you are defined by your choices and your, you know, what's happened to you and what you've done.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, yeah, I mean, sure, like everybody's like their own person, but you know, their stuff doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because you and your ideas are what really matters to
Like
you.
in this movie, which is called The Climb.
The Climb.
Somebody thought, hey, you know what no one's ever done? Compared climbing a mountain to getting through life. And what you need to get up that mountain. No one's ever done that before. And this movie makes that bold comparison between climbing a mountain.
Yeah, they do that in a few
life.
different ways. There's, you know, there's our one guy over here on this side. He's like, I gotta prove something to my dad.
You hear me, Pop? I came, I saw, I conquered.
You hollering it?
And, you know, you should make a drinking game out of this. Every time that he yells, like, blah, 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 dad.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah. He does that a lot. He screams. Like,
Or every
"Hey,
time he,
Dad,
like,
look where
throws-
I am.
Yeah. Every time he throws something on the ground or throws a tantrum or gets upset, drink, you know,
Yeah.
make sure it's diluted heavily.
We start with like, these two characters. And when I started this movie, I forgot their names. So I called them White Climber and Black Climber.
Black and white working in harmony with Mac's name attached. This is good, Mac. This is very good.
Until they had other characteristics that were more important to the movie. Then I changed them. But yeah, White Climber, he's just a guy who's good and stable. Like
He's very polite. He's
Very
well-mannered. He's knowledgeable about things.
his father was around his whole life, and his father's just like his hero. So we had like this very stable upbringing.
Yeah, totally.
And then we meet Black Climber, who's had the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, daddy left when he was 10. He realized that he can't depend on anybody. He can only depend on himself. But then, you know, so it's sort of, okay, that's sort of like a good thing. You know, be able to rely on yourself.
Yeah.
Not have super high expectations about everybody else. But he takes it to this extreme where he is like, he's a narcissist.
Oh, yeah.
He makes everything about him. I mean, shit, his apartment is full of pictures of himself that when they first showed his apartment, I thought that was like his mom's house. That there were so many pictures of him.
Yeah.
But no, it's his own place. Who has a picture of themselves in their place that they put there?
I have pictures of like if it's family, you know, like here's us somewhere, but it's not like here's just me. Like
it's just him. It doesn't have his girlfriend there. It doesn't have his mom there. no friends.
And this is
He has
done by
lots of friends.
this is done by design by the movie makers too.
Yeah, it seems very deliberate. Like they're trying to make a point.
Yeah, so these two separate characters who come from two different worlds, but we meet them on the mountaintop. And there's the son of like a guy who owns a chain of grocery stores.
Is that what they are? Grocery stores? I thought they were like
I think they're
department
grocery
stores or Walmarts or
It could
something.
be.
Instead of like a discount store.
Well, it's a big chain of stores. I just went to like grocery stores, but it could be any stores. They're called Mackey's. I think he's part of the Mac
Yeah,
Corporation.
this dude's name is Mac, and so he names his store Mackey's, the
Mackey.
cowboy hat guy.
Yeah, the cowboy hat guy.
Normally you'd be like, oh, he's an evil corporate mean guy, but no,
he's not.
he follows Christ, and
Yeah.
he's really, he's a little dumb, and he makes some bad business
Well,
choices.
he
but doesn't
hires
know about
a
it.
guy who's bad.
Yeah, it's sort of like having your cake and eating it too. He's got a corporation, he's making a lot of money, but he can act nice and be nice while he has this other goon sort of do things kind of on his own to make money for the company, and then he just blames it on the mean guy when mean things happen.
Let them write all the negative stuff they want.
No, it's not that simple, Greg. I mean, when they write that Mac Leonard is not concerned with the people on the south side of town, that hurts.
We're running a business here, not a social service, and putting a store in that neighborhood is just bad business.
And also about this guy, he and the news in this movie said it a lot. They were going to open a Mackey's in the south side of town.
That is a brilliant commercial, Thank you very much. Well, when are you going to start building that store you've been promoting?
Yeah, Derek. Where's that Mackey's you promised us? You know, South End could use a Mackey's.
I didn't promise you anything, all right? You want a Mackey's? Talk to Mackey.
No one uses black or white in these terms, which is what they're getting at. Because
totally.
But this guy's son is climbing a mountain and he's stuck up there, and he falls like in the most awful like. It's so shitty how they show.
Oh
it.
yeah,
At the
he's
very
like
beginning.
dangling from a rock, like
And he
precarious.
hits his head on a mountain.
Yeah.
Like, and they show it like a weird, like it was a dream or something. It's all like slow motion and black and white at the same time. It's like too many things.
Yeah. Our heroes over here just happen to randomly be climbing, and then these helicopter people come by and they're like, "Hey, we don't have enough rescuers. Can you get on our helicopter and rescue this guy?" And they're like, "I guess we've been deputized. I'm excited to work with you because I've heard all about all your exploits." And then this guy, he's sitting here and he's needlessly exaggerating and embellishing about stuff that he's done, and everybody else knows better. And he's like, "It's a misprint. Oh, it was only 56 minutes, not 59." And everybody's like, "Dude, it was 59. It's amazing."
He made some sort of climb. He made like the castle run in like whatever minutes.
Yeah.
Like he
and
did
like,
something,
dude, you're amazing.
and then it's like
you should be happy about that. But no, he has to take it to like this whole other level of embellishment. And so he's like, "I work solo. I don't want to work with you.
I work alone."
Just trying to be friendly. And he jumps off the helicopter like John Rambo. He's like, "We don't have enough time. We have to do it now." And he jumps off the helicopter and like nearly gets himself killed. And then this dude follows him down like safely about 4 seconds later.
Yeah.
And it's like, just chill, dude. You can do this right in about 5 seconds. He's been waiting for hours. 4 seconds isn't going to be the difference between life and death.
Yeah. He's just hanging there.
Yeah.
But the way that I saw him at the Rock, I thought like, oh, his neck's broken. He's done.
Yeah, he looked like shit.
But they save the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then even after that, like the lone wolf guy is like, "Yeah, well, this happened here, and it was this drop instead of that drop. It's higher, and I did most of it, and the pictures, my picture should be bigger." It's just like,
yeah.
Dude,
he's like, "Oh, I was 1,000 feet up," and they were like, "Well, the newspaper says it was 500 feet." Like, do you know that 500 feet is might as well be the same height? There's no point in exaggerating.
If you could die from the drop, it doesn't matter how much higher it is.
It's dangerous as fuck.
They rescue the guy's son.
Yeah.
It's like, we have a black climber and a white climber. We should really use this angle of black and white.
Oh, yeah, it was marketing. It was totally
black
marketing.
and white in harmony. And I remember writing down at the time I was writing something about it. I was like, they're using them. They're going to use them in this way. And I didn't think that cowboy hat guy was going to, but sleazy guy was going to. And cowboy hat guy, like, well, it's a good idea. Sure, that's positive.
Mm-hmm.
And they start, like, putting them in, like, TV ads and magazine ads, and the local press is like, oh, this is great. You have a black climber and a white climber.
Perfect, I love it. But maybe just one more.
And even in like the commercials they make one where like they're climbing and they have to reach across the rocks and grab each other's hands. Like, get a shot of the black and white hands together. It's like, okay, you want to show togetherness. You're really hitting over the head. Yeah.
His commercials.
And their billboards are everywhere. And the was like, wow, look at my face. Look at, I'm on a newspaper. I'm on a billboard.
Mm-hmm.
White climber, who's just the most perfect person in the world. It's like, yeah, I suppose that's fine, but let's practice climbing and not focus on these material things, because climbing is what we have to do.
Yeah, he wants to climb, and then this dude wants to do commercials and blow, 4 rolls of film, taking a picture of a billboard that has his face on it.
Yeah.
Oh, make sure it's in focus. And then he steals like a whole bunch of newspapers or something that blow away.
Yeah.
In it.
And the whole Jambus religious part, like, it sneaks in on you, because we've been talking about this whole time about how the white climber is a stable, like, responsible person, and the black climber is a narcissist. But that's all by design from the movie.
Our own Michael Harris was just half of the team that the Lord used to save a life 2 days ago. Michael, would you stand, please? Glad he's back safe and sound.
Like, you go to the white climber and he's getting out of church, and then you go to the black climber's apartment and like, his girlfriend's there. It's like, oh, they're eating dinner.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh, my new climber partner, what a Jesus freak. Well, I mean, he's not like you.
Yeah,
it's
his
fine.
girlfriend's Christian and he knows it.
Did I tell you that Mr. Cool turns out to be a Jesus freak?
Michael's a Christian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's not like you. See, he's one of those extreme, read the Bible every day, memorize the scripture types.
Oh yeah, not like me.
Come on, baby, you know what I mean. But hey, let's not start with the God thing. Not tonight.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, let's not talk about the God thing. Like, this is a big thing in her life.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I know. This is a huge part of her life, the God thing. And they have to deal with this at some point in their relationship that, like, you don't...
Oh, they're forced to deal with it.
As those scenes started happening, I'm like, wait, is this like a storyline that's going to be somewhat interesting, or is this a Christian movie? And
yeah, when I started to hate Derek here, this guy, I realized that a moment later, I realized that it was deliberate.
Yeah.
And there has to be an arc, and with all the other context that's been thrown at us and shoved down our throats, not even subtly, I realized what that arc was going to be.
Yes.
And so when it finally happened, it didn't make it any less painful.
No.
But yeah, his girlfriend's dad hates him.
Derek
is a good man, Daddy.
An angry man.
Because he's hurting. Maybe you can't see that. And if you can, maybe you just don't care. But I do.
You are in a relationship with a man who doesn't share your values. Now, when the storms come, and believe me, they will come, what's going to be your compass?
Because I rewatched this, but the first time I watched it, he was talking about how he's a very angry man. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's worried that this guy is going to be like physically violent with her.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, oh God, yes. I've seen this guy throw a tantrum. He, you know, he's walking around just randomly just starts screaming like a lunatic, like a crazy person.
Hey Dad, I'm eating my vegetables, fuck you.
He does that. And that's fucking scary. That's really scary. And then there's other times where he's like, you know, he'll get angry and he'll start throwing shit.
I know.
He'll start throwing crap. He gets drunk and he climbs to the top of a billboard and starts waving a fucking pickaxe at a police.
He fights with White Climber and he picks up his like climbing axe and like holds it in like in a like I want to kill you with this. And White Climber's
he attacked White Climber in his own home and starts breaking shit and threatens to kill him with the axe. And then he like throws the axe at like his stuff. and like breaks even more shit before he pushes him out of the way and leaves.
But
and then of course, like 2 scenes later, this guy turns the other cheek and he's like, "Hey, we should be friends."
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, no, dude.
And
if somebody did that to me and I saw them again, I would break their nose.
And would I trust them on a mountain in my life? No way.
No. We've been proven.
But White Climber's so
time again that this
perfect and
guy is
amazing, and he
dangerous.
has all these patience for people, and you'll come around one day. Not like come around like you're gonna calm down and get your act together and like be more of at least a stable person.
Yeah.
Not only that, you're gonna have the same religion as me.
Because that's the only way.
It's the only way you can calm down.
All the violence, irresponsibility, narcissism.
Even if Black Climber was like, you know what? Okay, I'm getting angry. My dad's gone. I'm never gonna see him. But you know what? I'm gonna settle down. I'm gonna marry my girlfriend. But I don't need to go all the way and like become a born again Christian or anything. I'm just gonna try to be more responsible. That wouldn't have been good enough for White Climber. He'd be like, yeah, but what about this? And then the dad would be like, you don't share my values. And they keep talking about taking the high road. More than one character says this.
I always try to remember this thing that my dad used to say to me whenever I blew it. He just said, when you get to the next turn, try and take the high road.
They have a party after the big save, after they save everybody, and it shows, like Mike and his white friends and Derek and his black friends together, and they get along fine because there's people, and they're like doing imitations of each other, and it's kind of it's like it seems like I'm saying a natural moment when they have these groups of people and they're not like shoving Christianity down my throat. It's like, oh, this is a natural interaction. Like this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. And it's like, oh, he said, Derek said that you're Christian, and I want you to know that, like, I don't think I'm living my best life, and I should take the high road and stuff. And it's like,
yeah. And then so because he tells her to take the high road, after the party, she gives him blue balls. And then he finds out why, because she's like, well, I need to take the high road. And he said, I need to take the high road. And he's like, you.
No, I'm through with this. From now on, I'm going to take the high road.
It was you.
What?
You're the one who put all that high road talk into Cheryl's head.
Taking the high road. Like, is this the high road? Is this what you really want to do? And the way Mikey acts towards Derek, kind of like, and I've come across people who act like this towards me. It's like, what are you doing? Why don't you just do this? Why do you think that? Now, come on, that's ridiculous. It bothers me so much. We talk a lot about how Derek, the Black Climber, is like all these things we said, and they're not good things. But the movie, like, if saying that's fucked up, it is, because the movie did this. The movie said, we're gonna make this one guy the pillar of fucking morals, and this other guy's gonna be just an irresponsible monster who's gonna get everybody killed. And I went from White Climber to Black Climber to like Christian Climber and like
to Narcissist Climber
or Heathen Climber or whatever
or
they would
Climber.
Yeah, whatever they would call him. Whatever they would call him. Because I just forgot their names, and now with Mike and Derek, I kind of remember.
Yeah. Well, I did like how Mikey said, "I don't preach, but I do speak my mind."
Yeah.
So, like, you do.
It's a crutch, man. I mean, that kind of faith is for people who don't think they can get the job done themselves. You know what I got faith in? A good solid cam, a strong rope, and me. Besides, it's a little misplaced, don't you think? I don't know if I'd be putting all my trust in a father who lets his own son die.
And then the mountain scenes are ridiculous. Like, you can tell that they pull out, and someone was up on the mountain. I don't know who it was. There were people up there.
Yeah, they did those really well. Like, I got like made for TV movie vibe.
Yeah.
So like kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then like mediocre made for TV movie.
Yeah.
So it kind of ranged between the two. It'll never be as good as the Blood Bag.
Oh, Vertical Limit.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of is the Blood Bag scene.
The Blood Bag is the best.
1, 2, 3.
then Derek gets like he's angry about something, and the girlfriend comes over. It's like, Derek, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy. And he's like, what are you gonna do about it? And you know she's not gonna get an abortion.
Yeah, she said I'm having a baby is how she said it. She didn't say I'm pregnant. She said I'm having a baby.
I'm gonna have a baby. Our baby.
Wait a minute, Cheryl. Cheryl, I'm not ready to be a father.
Well, you already are.
This wasn't part of the plan, huh?
It's time to find a new plan, Derek.
Yeah, it's that simple, isn't it?
Obviously, you know that she's not going to term.
Like,
so he was pissed off because he's running out the door because this dude was like, hey, they're not building the South End store. I don't want to climb the thing for you guys anymore. And he's pissed because he's like, that was my opportunity too. Nothing's more important than climbing this mountain and proving my dad that I'm good enough. He wanted to climb solo anyway.
I know.
That's good. It's win-win. Well, it's just a win.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the other win is.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be a dad. And I liked her reaction to him running out.
You said you never really knew your father, right? Well, congratulations. You're just like him.
And she's like, you said that you didn't know your dad. Well, guess what? Look,
you're just like him.
Yeah.
I was like, that was actually good. Some of the dialogue in this movie is not awful.
Yeah, she kind of nailed it.
Yeah, and they kind of said it very succinctly. I like that. I was like, yeah, this is, and
I did appreciate him saying it's your body.
Yeah.
You know, it's your choice. It's your body. But obviously, she didn't want to, and he was pressuring her, which just makes him a dick.
I would have liked this movie better. Take out all the like religious force feeding, and they both have issues they have to get over and work together.
Yeah.
And then they conquer the mountain together. I mean, they wouldn't give White Climber these kind of things. Oh no, he wouldn't get a girl pregnant. That's what black people do because they live in the South Side. Like that's fucked up. Like there's no way he would have given him that. He would not.
They could have both had an arc. So his arc could be not be a narcissistic dick, and his arc could have been get over your.
He didn't have an arc. Mike didn't have an arc. He was like,
didn't, but he could have.
He was like Rey in fucking the Star Wars movies, which is like, I'm perfect. Yes, I'm the perfect Jedi. I know everything right away. I'm not going to make any mistakes whatsoever. So when he finds out that he's going to be a father, and he's not ready for that, because he has a whole map on the back of his... My father! He has a map on the back of his wall in his shitty apartment that, like, has, like, all the places he wants to go. It's like, I'm not ready for this. And he looks at it, and he's like, he's all pissed. Like, I can't go to places I want to go.
Aww.
I know.
Oh.
I know, poor guy. And then he gets drunk, and you see him on his own billboard with his like climbing axe. Like, why do you have that? There's a ladder to get up there. The guy, the cowboy hat guy, fires the sleazy guy because he finds out he's been trying to cancel the new Mackey's in the south side of town. And it's like, that should be like throughout the movie. Will they build the Mackeys? Will they not? You know, like let's develop that. Like, nope, they just squashed that conflict. Completely?
Like Tommy Boy with the fucking, you know, what's his name, the Crystal Head guy, trying to buy the company.
Yeah,
that went on the whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then that was like the thing on the movie. So if you had, it would have been exciting to see, you know, these two flawed people instead of one flawed, one perfect, trying to work up the mountain while back home they're trying to get the store open and sleazy guys working against them. It's like two things at once. To be very interesting, but they didn't do that.
A common enemy.
Yeah.
And a common goal: climb this fucking mountain.
But they say, oh wait, the store's back on. Sleazy guy's been fired. Like, there goes that story. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Ryan Johnson. And this is where like the whole fucking example, the whole comparison between climbing a mountain and like living your life. It's like they get together and go through all the shit they're gonna bring, And he's like, what are you gonna need that for? It's like, you never know. You got prepared for things.
Yeah, he's a
Come
Boy
up.
Scout. He's got that Dex shot or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I've seen that. That was in Vertical Limit too. Like, we're not gonna need this or this, and he refuses to like acknowledge all these things. And all these things
Yeah.
are just metaphors for religion. It's like, I'm not taking that shot. I'm never gonna need that. I'm not bringing that. I'm never gonna need that. You know. And it's like, you might need it later.
Yeah.
No, never. I'll never admit to needing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I get it. You can stop, like, just please stop. They go up the mountain, and yeah, they talk in a tent for a while, and it's like, I don't want to talk about your religion, but let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And now
He does that multiple times.
Yeah.
He like brings it up, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, okay.
You really want to go big? Just give it up. Whatever it is that you're holding on to, whatever it is you feel like you've got to prove, just give it up. Give it to God. Let him be your father.
I don't believe in that sort of thing.
You don't, or you don't want to?
You know, it sure sounds like you're preaching now.
No. Just giving you some advice.
It's like, tell me about your father. It's like, oh,
My
he left
father.
me. Oh, you mean the guy who happened to be there when I was conceived? I'm like, okay, you know what? It's not my experience, but I'm not like the Mikey character. And I'm gonna say, hey, I don't know what that's like, but I wouldn't expect you to just like trust a father figure after what happened to you, right? You seem like it left less lasting effect on you, you know. So I wouldn't expect you to just. And oh, by the way, my father's my hero, and let's not talk about that because, you know, it's like, ugh, when will he just get over the fact that his father left him and just believe in God already? Like,
I don't know, because he's a liar. So he's like, oh, you mean the guy that was there when I was conceived? So that makes me think that he's like a full-on bastard. Like he was trying to do, like his dad did the thing that he tried to do, which is just leave while the girl's pregnant and have nothing to do, never even see the child. Then in like the same breath, he's like, he left when he was 10. But we already have established that Derek is a pathological exaggerator.
Yeah.
And so he likes to double things, or he likes to have things a lot. So he's like, oh, I was 1,000 feet up. No, you were 500 feet up. He said his dad left when he was 10. His dad probably left when he was 20.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I hate Derek. I fucking hate Derek.
Well, the movie is supposed to make you hate Derek.
I know. It's so obvious.
You're supposed to watch this with a born-again family, nodding your heads at the screen in a judgmental way, saying, when is that Derek gonna come around and pick up a Bible?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? He walked out on his girlfriend who's pregnant.
Yeah.
That's definitely someone who doesn't read the Bible. That's something they would
Yeah, he
do
needs
for
to read
sure.
it. He doesn't
All
share
those-
our values.
All those heathens out there, they don't even read the Bible like we do, and that's what they would do, but we wouldn't do that. We're like Mike, like, ugh. Oh, as usual in these movies, there's a storm coming.
Yeah, he gets on the walkie and he's like, hey, we're at the peak. And then the guy at like mid camp is like, there's a storm a-coming. Better got down from there, right chow.
Oh, and by the way, that there Derek's, his girlfriend had a baby. Because he didn't tell Mike that. Because, you know, what I know what Mike would say. That, I brought it up earlier, like how much time's passed. So from the time he runs out and has his little police moment on the billboard to the climbing up the peak, was that 9 months that passed?
Yeah.
That's 9
She
months.
didn't, when she talked to Mike in the kitchen that one time about the take the high road thing, I did not get the impression that she had any idea that she was pregnant at that moment. So
I don't think she did.
It was probably about 9 months.
Because that means this poor woman has been pregnant, like, basically by herself for almost a year.
Yeah.
And in the hospital, it's like, where's the father? It's like, oh, he's gone. It's like, so like, I didn't realize how much time had passed. I thought maybe
Yeah, and why the fuck would it take them that long to need to prep to climb the damn mountain?
But our big finale
comes
when
We
Derek
gotta
is
get
fucked.
down this mountain real quick now.
Derek's fucked up, and he won't get the shot that helps you out.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever they're gonna do. And he's like, he's out of it. Like he's like, blah, blah, blah. And he walks under. He goes towards this like overhang with this huge like shelf of snow that's ready just to fall and bury a person. Snow and ice and shit. And he's like,
Mike's like, I don't like the way that looks. Don't go under there. Don't go under there. And he keeps saying it like over and over again. And he's just, nah, 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 nah.
and it's another example of like, I don't think it's good to go without Jambus in your life. Whatever, bro. I don't think it's like we know what you think.
You need to worship. You need to go down on one knee and Tebow it at the top of the mountain. Praise
Which he
God.
does. Which forgot to mention, he does when he gets to the peak.
Yeah, he does.
He Tebows it, and Derek's like, Derek's screaming at his dead or whatever, going and he's like praying. Which I thought and we brought this up in our 33 AD thing. Mike's like trained his whole life for shit like this. He should be proud that he's worked so hard to do this and say, you know what, I worked hard for this. I did this. No one allowed me to do it. You know? Like, why am I like thanking somebody for something that I did? Which I'll never understand that. Whatever.
No. Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub.
Yeah, exactly. But so Derek's about to be crushed by this big sheet of ice and snow. And Mike does this thing where he gets this clamp with the rope, and he's fast, like he's like a flash or some shit. And he unhooks it and he like throws it and he hooks on to Derek and then pushes them out of the way or something, and the shit falls on Mike. But then Derek's hanging and pulls himself up, and he pulls Mike. He tries to pull Mike out of the snow.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and he's dead. And like, tell
like,
my father, I'm coming home. I'm coming home, and he just dies.
Yeah.
Eat
shit.
But it's the white savior. He saved.
Yeah.
He.
Yeah.
Just like Jambus, he died to help someone join the cause.
Praise White Jambus.
And that's when he's like on the way down and like hanging out in the tent, whatever. He's going through Mike's Bible.
Yeah, well, he you know, after he gets down to the camp and then he falls down and they're like, oh no, Derek. And they just leave his corpse up there, you know.
Like that's what you have to do, because you're not going to get your corpse down from there. They came across a corpse up there. It's like, you got to get down on your own.
The side.
I guess you could.
That's what they do, because they don't want to look at it. Our one surviving hero goes over to his girlfriend's dad's house, and he's like, fuck you, and like pretty much starts closing the door in his face. He's like, well, I just wanted to talk to you, sir.
Yeah. This is what
as soon as
bothered
you
me
start
too.
hearing sir, you know that somebody wants something from you that they don't deserve.
You're right. That's true. And this bothered me because he's talking to the dad and he's telling a story about his life and his father.
My father!
Instead of like, listen, his dad's saying, listen, we're all very angry at you because it's been a long 9 months and you just ran away.
Yeah.
A reasonable reaction. There's no mention of what, like, how the daughter has felt, what she went through. Like, you should apologize to her after you talk to me kind of shit. Like, you need to read the Bible, and then maybe we can come back here. It's like,
yeah, that's what happened. I saw it coming, and they did like a wide shot, and they're both like sitting down on the sofa, and I see a couple of books on the coffee table, and I'm like just staring at that book, and I'm like, what is that book?
Yeah.
What is that book? And he just points at it, and I just screamed and spun around on the sofa like a fucking alligator doing a death roll. Just no.
Yeah. Like, no.
And yeah, it turned out that it was a Bible, and that he's like, you need to read that, and then they get up and they hug crying.
So if I know you, and if you're like their family, if I do something awful to your family, like I come into your house and I just like slaughter everybody and burn your house down. But if I come back and say, you know, I've changed and I read this book, you go, okay, you can work on this.
Yeah.
Like, no, like I don't trust you because this was a reaction, you know. And it wasn't like you freaked out for like a day and then you're like, all right, freaked out, it was a thing, but I'm here, let's do this. It was like you're gone for 9 months.
Yeah.
We had to go through the hospital together. And then
you weren't there for the ultrasounds, you weren't there for the Pilates, you weren't there for the Kegels or whatever the hell the ladies do before they push it out.
Lamaze classes.
Lamaze, there you go.
Yeah.
I always forget that word. I always think it's Kegels.
I just remember because every like 80s and 90s movie about pregnancy like had like the goofy husband at the Lamaze classes. And then at the end it's just like it's, you know, the baby's, well, I guess it was already born. The baby's out and like it's like they don't say it like super like loudly, but he goes, he calls his son Mikey. It's like, oh, you named it after this fucking guy.
Oh yeah,
which is weird because you think that the wife would have a name in mind.
Oh, that's right. So he's still not quite there yet, is he?
No, it's like
being a fucking narcissist.
It's like I want to name her. Yeah, I want to name her kid Mikey after the guy who saved me at the mountain. It's like, well, I was thinking, you know, Joseph. But like, why want Mikey? It's like, you left me for 10 months.
Yeah, she was thinking of names that whole time.
And you weren't here. And you want to just like
what name she picked.
You want to name it after some fucking guy that I met once at a party and made me feel ashamed because I was like, you know, having sex with you? No. Like, we talked about it. Joseph's like my grandfather's name or some shit. I don't know. Whatever the names.
Yeah.
Her name was. Like, you're just going to name him Mikey? Like, there's a case he made that, like, he saved his life. But it's like, but you're late to the party here. We've already done all this shit.
Yeah.
Then it's just kind of over. But, and I guess the south end of town, in quotes, gets their Mackies.
Mackies. I want Mackey's paraphernalia. I want that Mackey's shirt.
I thought about that. Lately, since, you know, I have some a little extra money because since Corona times, I haven't like gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And spent money anywhere. So like when I get something stupid, like I don't know, going to Redbubble and make my own Mackey's TV shirt, Mackey's t-shirt. Like, all right, I haven't spent any money on anything besides bills and food in like a year. Like today, I just ordered a Canon. We always have that. Canon movie guide book from 80 to like 85 or something. And it's volume 1 and volume 2 is coming out later this year of just like a guide to Canon movies.
Wow.
So I can cross off the ones I've seen.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty long list by now. The Climb, which is just like, see, look it. If you don't believe in Jambus, what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna be an unwed mother or unwed father. You're gonna be angry all the time. Just give in to Jambus, and then everything's gonna be fine in your life. You know? Yeah, but I have other things going on that you haven't experienced. It's just give in Jambus. I don't see what the big problem is.
I'm gonna give in to Jambus.
Yeah. I want a shirt that says give in to Jambus.
Yeah.
and it has
Jambus
like
with a really creepy look on his eye.
That or like this guy who's like ripped. Basically like a porn actor with like a beard and long hair.
Yeah, okay, I could do that.
Like, give in to Jambus. That movie, I'll never watch it again. You know, I want to go through it for the editing, but like I'm not gonna watch it. It's gonna be aggravating.
Yeah.
I
don't envy you.
I would be curious to watch this with some people who are more like the Mikey character there. See like what the point on some things, but then again, I don't want to get in those conversations really ever again with people who are just gonna like look sideways as I'm talking, like, ugh. Like I saw a video once, you know, Kirk Cameron, who's a wacko.
Yes.
The banana conversation came around. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
All right, so him and a guy, like some other religious guy, said, proof that God exists is the banana. This is a real video.
Hold this, Kurt. Behold the atheist's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 ridges. On the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 grooves, on the close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other. You'll find the maker of the banana, Almighty God, has made it with a non-slip surface. It has outward indicators of inward contents: green, too early; yellow, just right; black, too late. Now, if you go to the top of the banana, you'll find, as with the soda can makers, they placed a tab at the top. So God has placed a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face. You'll find the wrapper, which is biodegradable, has perforations. Notice how gracefully it sits over the human hand. Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry. It's just the right shape for the human mouth. It's chewy, easy to digest, and it's even curved toward the face to make the whole process so much easier. Seriously, Kurt, the whole of creation testifies to the genius of God's creative hand.
And, like, both those guys got shit on for years because of it. I mean, then if you make that argument, you could say, well, what about the fucking pineapple? You know, like, that's, like, impossible to open. It hurts to hold. You have to cut it. It's like, what about that? And they're like, yeah, that was a little ridiculous. I don't know. I gotta pray in this, take the high road, climb. I take the climb to the high road. That's what I gotta do.
Do it.
Way up there. And then I'll go, ooh, and I'll float up. Float up. Oh my God, it's so great up here. Oh my God.
Whoa.
It's so great here. They have like,
God.
Oh, and each south side in the world has a Mackey's. Oh my God.
Oh.
You gotta come check this out up on the high road. Oh, it's so great. I'm blown away.
Hold on, I gotta